This travel video is taking us to the most famous Spanish speaking country, Colombia, bordering 5 countries: Venezuela, Brazil, Peru, Ecuador, and Panama. World's most cocoa is produced in this country, and you know why the country is infamous or famous. Although the name Colombia has come from Christopher Columbus, and today's country was formed in 1819, Colombia has prehistoric human civilization existence as early as from 18,000 BC, with archaeological sites found mostly along the sea coast. We are now heading towards a tourist-frequented port city, Cartagena, on the Caribbean Sea. Landed at the Rafael Núñez International Airport. Done with the immigration and customs. A car was pre-booked and heading towards the hotel, where we booked a 7-day all-inclusive package with unlimited food and drinks. This is our hotel, Cartagena Plaza, locally called Cartagena Plaza, right on the sea beach. The reception and check-in counters and the lobby. Business class room and business class check-in, special check-in with wine to start.
Rosé champagne.
And before check-in. And this is one checking us in. Hello, one.
Welcome to the Cartagena Plaza Hotel.
This is our room. And view from the window. Hungry straight at lunch. Sea behind and bar behind. To start, fried octopus with mojito. Next morning at breakfast, huge buffet. And I forgot to introduce our cameraman, VJ, working hard with his scrambled egg and pancake. Then changing some money to local currency. Next is the most essential, a local SIM card. Although the city Cartagena, full name is Cartagena de Indias, means Cartagena of indigenous people, named after Cartagena in Spain, was established in 1533 AD, and the first European set foot here in 1500. This is Cartagena beach on the northwestern shore. The beach made of volcanic rock, which is slightly grayish in color, making the water appear muddy, though it is not. To start, we assigned a day for a city tour. First is this Bocagrande neighborhood, which is our hotel area. Bocagrande, which means big mouth, is an area known for its sky cappers. The area contains the bulk of city's tourist facilities such as hotels, shops, restaurants, nightclubs, and art galleries. We'll make a walkthrough in this area later. Next, passing through a neighborhood Gestemani, once famous for crime, but now the newest tourist hotspot. This is the main seaport, Puerto de Cartagena, also the current cruise ship port located here in another neighborhood, Magna. This is the seaport as seen from the water side. This huge structure is San Felipe de Castel. The castle was built in 1639 on the hill of San Lazaro in a strategic location, dominating approaches to the city by land or sea. It was built by African slaves under Spanish supervision during the colonial era. This is Muralla de Cartagena, means wall of Cartagena. This defense stone wall, about 11 kilometers, surrounds the old city, built in stages between 1614 and 1796 to protect the city from pirate attacks. Later complemented by fortification along the coast. This is La Bovedas with 23 dungeons or vaults hidden within the 15-meter thick city walls built for military purpose between 1792 and 1796. The vaults were used originally as provision storerooms. Later, they were turned into a jail. Today, they house craft and souvenir shops for tourists. At a little distance, this is University of Cartagena, established in 1827, originally only with law and medicine faculties. The initial name was University of Magdalena and later changed to the current. In the late 19th century, this university became a center of higher education open to the public. Currently, the university offers education at undergraduate as well as postgraduate levels, which includes two doctorates. Narrow roads in this city. At a little ahead, this is Plaza do Santo Domingo or Santo Domingo Square, a vibrant plaza almost at the center of the old city. In the past, this square was used during the Spanish Inquisition as a place for executions. The buildings surrounding Santo Domingo Square boast Spanish colonial architecture featuring balconies and red tile roofs. Around the square, there are shops, street vendors, lively restaurants, and plenty of outdoor tables for dining and relaxing. The most famous in this square is the statue of a naked woman sculpture in bronze, La Gorda Gertrudis, or Fat Female. The sculpture was created by renowned artist Fernando Botero. This could be one of the best selfie locations in the old city. Adjacent to the square, this is Iglesia de Santo Domingo or Church of Santo Domingo. Reputedly the oldest church in the city, originally built in 1539, but the original building was razed by a fire and the church was rebuilt in 1552. The orange yellow facade of the church and its massive arched entryway and the bell tower on the top are striking. Nearby, this is Palace of Inquisition or Investigation. The site was the seat of the punishment tribunal of the Holy Office from 1610 for religious crimes like magic, witchcraft, and blasphemy. When culprits were found guilty, they were sentenced to death in public. The current Spanish colonial style building is noted particularly for stone gateway and the long balconies of the facade. The palace is now a museum displaying the inquisitors' instruments of torture, some of which are quite horrifying. Next is this Plaza de Bolivar or Bolivar Square, formerly the Plaza de Inquisition, is essentially a small park with a statue of Simon Bolivar, the first president of Colombia, in this center. Across from the plaza is this Cathedral de Santa Catalina de Alejandría, popularly known as Cathedral of Cartagena, built in 1612. While still under construction, in 1586 it was partly destroyed by the cannons of the English explorer Francis Drake, who attacked the city with 23 ships and 3,000 men and delayed the completion. Further alterations, including the terracotta dome visible from all over the town, were carried out in the early 20th century by Cartagena's first archbishop. Notable inside is this skillfully carved cross. Near the city main gate, this is Plaza the Low Coche or Square of the Carriages. This triangular plaza was once used as a market for enslaved people. The statue of city's founder, Pedro de Heredia, is in the middle of the plaza. Surrounding is lined with old balconied houses with colonial arches at ground level. This arched walkway, known as El Portal Dolo Dulce, just across the plaza, is today lined with confectionery stands selling local sweets. Cartagena is considered a popular movie shooting destination for international productions. Several movies have been filmed in the city, especially in Walled City area. Importantly, Marlon Brando's 1969 release Born, Michael Douglas's 1984 release Romancing the Stone, Robert De Niro's 1986 release The Mission, or Will Smith's 2019 release, Gemini Man. Finally, we are at the city center or downtown area. This is popularly known as Walled City and most important tourist attraction with varied colonial style buildings. In 1984, Cartagena's colonial walled city and fortress were designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Una llamada. Bueno, pues hasta luego, pues. Bueno, pues igual.
This is Puerta del Reloj or Clock Gate, built between 1704 and 1738. This is the main or original entrance to the fortified city. The name Puerta del Reloj relates to the clock with which it was commissioned at the beginning of the 18th century. The facade is a post-classic or European Middle Age which suggests later addition during the second half of 18th century. And the city by night. Festive season, entertainment, entertainment, and entertainment. Today we are on an excursion to visit two wonders of nature. The first is this Galerazamba town at about 75 kilometers north of Cartagena. The local name is Galerazamba Salinas, which means salt mine of Galerazamba. Without a doubt, the main tourist attraction of this town is a pink sea. It is a small town and a very old indigenous settlement that became famous because of its salt extraction activity as well as being the hometown of the first Spanish speaking indigenous woman, India Catalina, during the early 16th century. A monument of Catalina at the center of the town. And this is the Pink Sea on Caribbean. The pink color on the seawater is given by a natural phenomenon derived from the high concentration of saline in the waters and a special microbe or microalgae eating the salt, creating a color pigment that generates this color. The color of water turns pink during the dry season from December to April when water becomes shallow, leading to high concentration of microbe or special algae living in it. Although we are now in December, still we don't see the pink color because the production is stopped for 3 years at this time. And when it turns pink, it looks like this. Interestingly, Although there are about 50 pink color lakes in the world, but this could be the only pink color sea. In reality, it is a salt saturated rock once was being used to produce salt for the area. Also, in ancient times, salt was valuable and was used as barter currency to acquire other commodities. By the way, it is neither a beach to swim or do water sports, nor is a part of the sea. Seawater is stored here with a barrier. Next, this is Biaris, our host at the Pink City. Thank you, Biaris. Next is a mud volcano. About 50 kilometers north from Cartagena, this is El Tutomo mud volcano or Volcán do Lodo El Tutomo in Spanish. It is an active mud volcano located almost on the sea level and is one of the most frequented tourist destinations while visiting Cartagena, popular for its claimed healing mud bath. It is the smallest volcano in the country with a height of 15 meters and it is accessible via a staircase that leads to the crater where tourists bathe in dense warm mud. A mud volcano is a landform created by the eruption of mud or slurries, water and gases and are usually the result of one landmass piercing into other below the earth's surface. The healing properties of the mud, especially from rheumatic problems or joint inflammations, are attributed to the chemical composition of the mud that are water, silica, aluminium, magnesium, sodium, chloride, calcium, sulfur, and iron. Mud volcanoes are not true igneous volcanoes as they do not produce lava and are not necessarily driven by magnetic activity. However, according to a local lore, the volcano used to spew fire, lava, and ashes, but it was turned into mud by a local priest who believed it was the work of the devil by sprinkling holy water into it. Approximately 1,100 mud volcanoes have been globally identified so far on land in shallow water. And the East European country Azerbaijan has the most mud volcanoes. The volcano is named after this fruit Tutomo. The shell of this fruit is used to make one of the famous percussion musical instrument maracas. Returned from the tour, celebrating birthday of a dear one who left us forever. You may have seen her in the videos of my channel. She now resides in Scatum Galaxy, 320 light years away, somewhere up there. Her favorite cocktail, orange. And with live band. Today we are walking through the Bocagrande area. In Bocagrande hotel, restaurant and high-end shopping stretch, One side there is Caribbean Sea where there are beaches attached to the wall-to-wall luxury hotels and resorts. On the other side, this is Cartagena Bay, which is mostly scenic. It's a natural bay with two entrances, Bocagrande or Big Mouth in the north and Boca Chica or Small Mouth in the south. At the south side of the bay, here the rich and famous live. On the way back, we hit this famous Casino Rio near our hotel, ideal for those carrying heavy wallets. And little souvenir shopping. And the catch of the day, some Colombian rum to take home. Hard day's work, working out in gym. Soaking on the sea thereafter. Today we are on a thrilling mangrove canal boat tour. Although Colombia holds a substantial part of Amazon rainforest, being on Caribbean, there is no rainforest in this area, but there are tranquil canals and mangroves with abundance of flora and fauna. And we are taking a trip in a traditional fishing canoe through the canals and the mangrove tunnels. Too much excitement. The cameraman jumped out of the boat for a further exploration. Wow, can beat any Tarzan movie. Hola. Fishing demonstration. And Domingo the boatman. And this is Sandra, coordinator of all our tours. Thank you very much, Sandra. This is Luis, who has provided taxi service for the entire tour. He is from VIP Taxi. You can contact them for a good service, my guarantee. Hello, Luis. Thank you very much. Getting back to the hotel after the tour. Lastly, the nightclub. Tour is ending, leaving tomorrow, and the Last Supper. This is Binoy Bala and cameraman Vijayan Bala, Megalith Video, signing off from Rafael Nunez International Airport, Cartagena, Colombia.